Guys, the purpose of this video is to give you the information you need to complete the poster assignment. So the first thing that I want to show you as we think about this assignment is where do you submit it. And so if you go to your modules tab in Canvas, you click on week 14, there is a folder here called poster submission. You'll click on that. You'll hit reply, and you're going to attach your poster as a PDF. So just attach your poster and then create the URL link to your video. And that way we can look at your recording and we can see your poster. And then you'll just hit reply and that'll be submitted. You'll notice this is in the discussion tab of Canvas. So that is where we are submitting those uploads. When you come to class on Monday, after the break, we will be in groups grading the poster assignment. I have placed you into 3 groups and I've designated one person in each group as the lead. So the first group is Ashley, Melissa, Maggie, Dominic, and Yin. And Ashley, I've designated you as lead. Group 2, Monsi, Veronica, Grace, and Claire. Monsi, I designated you as the lead. Group 3 is Houston, and Juan, I put you as the lead. The lead is going to be responsible for making sure that everyone submits their grades, collecting everyone's rubrics, and creating those average scores and making sure that I receive it. I want to give a huge shout out to Melissa because she has made this task for the lead much easier and much easier for Sam and I to enter the grades into Canvas. For a different project, Melissa had created a peer grading rubric, and she adapted that rubric for our class, which is amazing. Sent that to me. I've gone in and created in Google Spreadsheets, one for each group. So you'll see here's for Ashley's group, Juan's group, and Monsi's group. This particular one is for Monsi. And you'll see the way this is structured is that the different items for the rubric that you're scoring on are right here. You'll see that you have a below average score of 1 point, an average score of 2, above average score of 3 points, and an excellent score of 4 points, right? So you can see what your scoring looks like there. Then you'll notice you enter in your scores for each person. So score number 1, in this case, if group number 1 is Monsi, so for example, we have at the bottom of the worksheet, you'll see there's name 1, name 2, name 3, name 4, name 5. That would get turned into name 1 Monsi, name 2 Veronica, name 3 Grace, name 4 Claire, right? So you'd only use those first 4 worksheets. And then your scores would be your other team members. So in this particular group, since there's only 4 people in the group, there's 3 scores, right? And so obviously Monsi would not score herself. So that would be left blank. But if score 1 was Monsi, score 2 was Veronica, score 3 was Grace, and score 4 was Claire, and Monsi was presenting, then Veronica, Grace, and Claire would enter their scores. It would be averaged over here, and then we get the total score that we need to enter into the grade book. It makes it so seamless and so nice. So thank you, Melissa, for creating this. So essentially then what Monsi would have to do is to make sure that this worksheet was complete, notify me that it was there and that it was ready to be viewed, and then I can go in, open it up, view it, confirm that yes, I see it, and then I can go in and enter the scores. So really nicely done, Melissa. It's going to save us all so much time. It's great. There's one worksheet for each participant. So that's great. Okay. What is it that you're scoring on? Let's look at that, right? I think that that's really helpful information to have. So the first thing is visual appeal. Is your poster easy to read? Is the font size appropriate? Were the tables and figures easy to interpret, right? Based off of that, you're going to give a score of 1 to 4. The background, does the information provided justify the health topic or the population is important to public health? If you read the background and you're like, I don't really know why this is important, you're going to give a lower score. If it's really clear, you'll give a higher score. For objectives, The objective of the poster, which is the purpose, should be clearly described. Oftentimes that's a statement that says something along the lines of the purpose of this poster is to ... The methods. Were the components of the literature search clearly described, right? Do they tell you the databases they use, the search terms, the total number of articles produced, etc.? Inclusion, exclusion criteria. Now, with this particular component, I do ask that you give each other a little bit of grace. Why? Because this is the part where we're pretending that we did a full systematic review, even though we did not, right? So you should still see the databases they used, the search terms they used. Most likely, folks are going to say that they had 36 articles that they selected, right? Because that was what was required for the evidence tables. But whatever folks do is what they do, right? So just give folks a little bit of grace when it comes to that number part. The results. In the results section, the student should answer 2 questions. Did they present enough information about each question asked in the results section, and was the information presented in a way that was easy to understand? So what questions are we talking about? Go back to the syllabus and look at all the questions that you had to answer in the results section, right? So as you're grading each other, have the rubric up in the course syllabus, the questions in the course syllabus, and say, hey, did Grace answer all of these, or did she skip some, right? If she answered all of them, give her the full points. If she missed some, deduct some points, right? So that's how you'll make that decision. Under the conclusion and the future plans, were the strengths and limitations appropriate and complete? Are there unexplored questions that logically flow from the results, or are her next steps just out of the blue, right? Do the future plans demonstrate an understanding of their target population? And does it demonstrate critical thinking? What do I mean by critical thinking? What I mean there is it obvious that they were able to synthesize what they've learned this semester and from each of those papers that they've written to think about implications for future research, practice, and policy when it comes to improving the health of their population, right? What are they going to do with this information? How are they going to help their career? That's what I want to know. That's what I want them to think about, right? And then the verbal presentation. Were they concise? Were they accurate? Did they answer your questions, or did they hem and haw and sort of beat around the bush, right? Lastly, make sure that there's a PhD or a DRPH lens that's appropriate. If it's DRPHs, they have to link back to their community. If it's PhD, they have to talk about future research. That doesn't mean that PhDs can't talk about community. They most certainly can talk about a community partner, but it's not required. They have to talk about research. DRPHs have to talk about partnering with a community partner, right? They don't have to talk about research, but most likely they will, right? So it's just a focus, right? Where is the emphasis placed? Okay, that I believe is everything you need to know to complete your poster assignment. I look forward to seeing you in class on Monday, and until then, have a great week.